Hello students, I am Jay Patel. I am going to teach you 9th standard physics. In this video, I will cover revision of chapter number 8. So, before I am going to start teaching, I would like to give some information about ebook, video, worksheet, answer key of the worksheet, homework, test and result. So, students, first you have to type this link in the Google. So our Vasisht Vidyalaya web page will be open like this way. In this web page you can see that various green color boxes are there: pre-primary, primary, middle section, secondary, like that one. In that one, when you click on secondary part, this classes list open 9 and 10 standard. When you click on science, 9 standard science, then this type of 3 boxes will open. You already know that here in 9 standard science can be divided into 3 parts: biology, chemistry and physics. So when you click on the physics, you can see it here. These are the 3 different boxes are there: assignment, ebooks and these various links. These are the videos. So when you click on ebook, you can see the 9th standard book. You can download that particular ebook. When you click on assignment, homework, so we have uploaded various worksheet for you, so you can, after seeing this video, you can give the test for the following chapters. And these all others are link are the videos which we have uploaded. Then students, our school has started to take the test every Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So when you click on second last button, green color, test, this all classes test SVV test series will open. In that one, when you click on the 9th standard, so this type of page will open. In that one, there are 2 things. First one is announcement of test and second one announcement of result. So every Monday our school will make a timetable and announce that which test will be going to appear in this week. So you can see that particular timetable in announcement of the test, and you can see that one, this second last, this blue color link. When you click on that one, so that test will start. When you click on that particular blue line, the test will be start and you will give that particular test, and the result will be announced on most probably on Thursday. So this is some basic information I have given. Now let's start with our chapter motion. So let's first understand the concept of rest and motion. So what is rest? A body is said to be in rest when its position does not changes with respect to a stationary object taken as a reference point. It means that if body will not move, then with reference to some another object, we can call that reference point, or we can call that the starting point also. Then we can say that the body is at rest. Then understand what is about motion. A body is said to be in motion when its position changes continuously with respect to stationary object taken as a reference point. It means that if body moves with respect to reference point and the time change, we can say that a body is in motion. Okay, let's understand next concept, scalar and vector. So what is meant by scalar and vector? So left side, that concept should be scalar, and right side two examples are for the vector. So what is scalar? Let AB is line segment here of length L. You can understand, let it be should be 1 meter. Example, AB has no specific direction. It is line segment. You can see it here, left side. It does not have arrow, so we can say it line segment. It is, we cannot say it is going in which direction. So AB is scalar with magnitude L. So we can say that AB is equal to BA here. It means that only the value is mentioned in that one, no direction is mentioned, so that is scalar quantity. And here vector, let's take first example. So you can see that in first example, arrow is mentioned, it is coming from B towards A. So BA is directed line segment directed from B to A. The length of BA is L, that is its magnitude is L. The BA is a vector, so this is BA. You understand BA, so let assume that it is moving in the north direction. So here value is also there and magnitude is also there, so we can say that it is vector quantity. Okay, then this second example of vector, here AB is directed line segment directed from A to B. You can see it arrow, it goes start from the A and goes towards the B. So the length of the AB is L, that is its magnitude is L, thus AB is a vector. So here also same, AB has a magnitude as well as direction, so it is a vector quantity. Okay, let understand some distance and displacement have following differences. So let's take distance. First point, distance is the length of the path traveled by the body while moving from its initial position to the final position, that is called the distance. What is displacement? Displacement is the shortest distance between the initial position and final position of the body. So that is the displacement, shortest path traveled by the body from starting point to the final point. Second example of distance, distance is the scalar quantity. Just we have discussed, scalar means only magnitude, no direction. Displacement is the vector quantity. It means that displacement has a magnitude as well as direction also. Now third point of distance, it can never be negative or zero. So distance always we are measuring in positive, we can say like that, distance is always in positive, but displacement, it can be positive, negative or zero. So here these are the three differences between distance and displacement. Okay, let's understand examples, distance and displacement. Okay, so you can see it here in this figure. There can be a various path, but the shortest path denotes actual change in position from initial point A to the final point B, which we call as a displacement. Now I will explain that one. Okay, suppose a car travel from A point and it goes to the C position, then it travel again and goes to the D position, and then it travel and reaches to the B position. So here the total path traveled by this car, that is called distance. It means from A to C, C to D and D to B. So that is called the distance. And what is displacement here? So from A to B, it is the shortest path from initial, and B is the final position. So A to B, that is the displacement traveled by the particular car. Okay, take another example in circular way. So suppose if the path taken, a car is traveling from A to B and reaches from A to A again. So let's discuss from A to B. A car travel from A to B on the circular orbit. Let's understand, if the path taken between A and B through the arc, it is x is equal to pi r. It means that, so distance here, suppose let one car is travel from A to C and C to B. It means A to B. So its total distance is pi r. And here displacement, when car start from A and reaches to B, so displacement is 2r, means radius, sum of the radius r plus r is equal to 2r. Now take another example, means same way a car travel from A to A position. So what is its distance and displacement? Now understand this way. Suppose a boy or car running on the track, he starts from A and after completing one round his distance is 2 pi. So here its distance is 2 pi 2 pi r, and but its position remains same, thus the displacement is 0. So its displacement should be 0. It means that it come to its original position, A to A position. So displacement should be 0. And its distance is 2 pi r. Here is distance is 2 pi r and displacement should be 0. Okay, let's understand next concept, speed. So what is meant by speed? The speed of the body gives us an idea of how slow or fast that body is moving. How we'll define the speed? Speed of the body is the distance traveled by it per unit time. So what is the formula for the speed? Distance traveled per divided by time taken. Now what is the SI unit of speed? Meter per second. Small values of speed are expressed in the units of centimeters per second, and high values of the speed are expressed in the units of kilometers per hour. Now understand the new concept of average speed. So what is definition of average speed? The average speed of an object is obtained by dividing the total distance traveled by the total time taken. So how we can write as formula way? Average speed is equal to total distance traveled divided by total time taken. Now let's take sum based on this average speed. So this is our example 8.1. An object travels 16 meter in 4 seconds and then another 16 meter in 2 seconds. What is the average speed of the object? So what is the average speed? We have to calculate. So here first what you have to do, you have to join its distance. It means the how much it has traveled. You have to add that particular distance, and for covering that distance how much time it should be take, you have to add that particular time. So first we are going to add that particular distance. So total distance traveled by the object is equal to, first it covers 16 meter and then again it covers 16 meter. So 16 plus 16 is equal to 32 meter. And here total time taken. So for covering first 16 meter it should take 4 seconds, and second 16 meter it should take 2 seconds. So total time it should be 6 seconds. So now we are going to calculate average speed. You keep the formula. Average speed is equal to total distance traveled divided by total time taken. So total distance should be 32 divided by 6. So it should be 5.33 meter per second. So it should be here 32 meter, 32 divided by 6. So 5.33 meter per second. So therefore the average speed of the object is 5.33 meter per second. Now understand the velocity. What is mean by velocity? We should know the speed of the car as well as direction of the speed. Definition: velocity of the object is displacement produced per unit time. We can write in a formula way. Velocity is equal to displacement upon time taken. What is his SI unit? Meter per second. The difference between speed and velocity is that speed has only magnitude and velocity has magnitude as well as direction. So what do you understand by this statement? So It means that speed is scalar quantity where velocity is the vector quantity. Now next concept of acceleration. So when the velocity of the object is increased, the object is said to be accelerating, or velocity change, we can say the object is accelerating. Its definition: acceleration of the object is defined as the rate of change of its velocity per unit time. How we can write is formula way: acceleration is equal to change in velocity divided by time taken for the change. What is this SI unit? So SI unit is meter per second square. Then students, let's understand about uniform and non-uniform motion. These are all graphs of uniform motion and non-uniform motion. So uniform motion, you know that uniform motion means when an object travel equal distance in equal interval of time. It means 5 meter in first 5 second, then next 5 meter in 5 second, when next 5 meter in 5 second, and when you draw the graph distance versus time, it gives the straight line. This is the left side first graph, so that is the uniform motion graph. Then non-uniform motion. What is the definition of non-uniform motion? When an object travel unequal distance at an equal interval of time. We can say equal, or we can also say unequal interval of time, both the way correct. So it means that when you draw the graph of non-uniform motion, distance versus time, it gives like this way. Both the graphs on the right side are non-uniform motions. We can say that it is not a straight line, or we can say that it is the curved line also. Now, what is meant by uniform circular motion? So its definition says when object moves in circular path with uniform speed. First condition is that when object travels circular path on the circular path with uniform speed, it means that every particular point its speed should be remain constant, equal. Its motion is said to be uniform circular motion. Which are the take one example of uniform circular motion. Artificial satellites move in a uniform circular motion around the earth. So this is the uniform circular motion. Second example, that earth revolve around the sun. So this is also uniform circular motion. Okay students, I hope you understand all this revision concept. I am giving you homework. So you please write all this homework in physics notebook. And here the question number 3 is sum is there. So you can solve that sum in physics notebook. So first question is write two differences between distance and displacement. Second, define average speed. Third question, the odometer of car reached 2000 km at the start of the trip and 2400 km at the end of the trip. If the trip took 8 hours, calculate the average speed of the car in kilometer per hour and meter per second. Students, this is the example number 8.2 given in our textbook. If you don't have textbook, then you can download the ebook. Already how to download the ebook I have mentioned in this video. And students, first you have to try it by yourself to solve this sum, and then if you are not able to solve, then you can see it in the textbook. Thank you.